It's my friend Freddie Thorne. And I'd say a few words over his grave.
Yeah, I couldn't get that actor back, I guess. That could be what happened, right? But like the reason I'm pausing it used to piss me off because I'm in the business. I know how the business works, and they don't make you make writing decisions first and foremost because it's good for the story. That's just what you do. Dad was convinced anytime a character got killed off, especially between seasons, you could not talk about this. He was convinced it was because the actor wanted more money, and so they got rid of him. Like this was his fucking error. He used to drive me up the wall. I think half of the fun for him was to piss me off. I really do. We would have these conversations. I've told you before. My reactions are basically what I used to do with Dad. I'm talking. Everything I say to you is I would be saying to him essentially. Like there's a little bit there's a little bit of editing here that wouldn't happen if we were sitting next to each other, and a little bit more thought put into it rather than just throwing things at the wall without logic or thinking. There's a little bit of entertainment value here, but essentially this is the same thing I would do with him. I've been doing reactions for 30 years. Yeah, but he would get under my skin with that shit, man. It used to piss me the fuck off. And what's funny is I find myself falling into those traps. Like I'm playing both characters now. I'm playing myself, but I'm also playing Dad sometimes. Some of the shit I say is shit Dad used to say. Like just now. I found myself doing it. That's why I'm revealing this to you. Like, I would never say that. Because I know that's not what they do. And every now and then it is. Like, there's a... Like, they couldn't get the actor. Like, and so they have to explain why he's not there. A lot of times you can say, well, like, there's going to be 5-6 seasons of this. Skip a season. Or do what they did, like we're talking about Game of Thrones with Bran, where they didn't have much for him to do until a certain point in the story. So just have him take season 5 off. We see him at the end of season 4. We see him at the beginning of season 6. It's okay. Bring him back. He'll come back in a year. But sometimes this functionality with the story is like there's no way he'd be gone for a full season, or he would be gone for these events. Like say the wife gets kidnapped, right? The sister, the family gets kidnapped. He would never still be in Paris, rabble rousing or whatever he's doing. He would come back for that. Now you could say he's in prison in Paris for 6 months. That would be a good way to write him. So that's what tells me, right? Like say they couldn't get the actor. Say like his commitments to other projects means they couldn't get him. So they would put him in prison in Paris for this season, and possibility they could get him next season. That makes perfect sense. It fits with his character. He goes to other countries. He is the kind of person to be locked up in other countries. It makes perfect sense. That's what tells me this was a story decision. They're doing this for story reasons. It's a surprising one, considering how much screen time he got in fucking season 1. I was sitting there predicting he was going to be a major part of this season. Interesting. So yeah, but that's the thing. Like, every now and then I'll find myself saying things that they're not me, they're Dad. Like I've started to he's become a character that I perform during these reactions. Like I said, these reactions are real. I'm not performing per se, but for the comedy, sometimes he comes out of me. It's weird. Now, there's one thing that he does a lot that doesn't come out of me because it's not really my kind of humor. He used to make a lot of jokes about women's bodies and stuff. He'd be like, free them titties, put them titties out. He'd always be making these jokes. Anytime there's a nude scene, he'd be cheering and shit. Not really my thing. I don't find that shit funny. Like, I make a lot of sexual jokes. That's true. But he would make them in a different way. For him, the comedy would be free the titties or whatever, right? And so I'll never inhabit that part of his character. So...